Here are the top 3 areas you need to master when you start a training program. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Athos Life podcast. My name is Giovanni. Welcome back for another episode. This is going to be the start of a new series that we're going to be calling the Ascension program series. This coincides with the 9-week training program that I wrote that's focused on hypertrophy and muscle growth. So this is just kind of going to go along with those. If you go to our website, download that free ebook, all you got to do is put in your email. You can kind of follow along with the workouts that I have in there. We're going to be going over some health and wellness tips that you can implement into your daily routine. In this episode, like I said, we're going to be discussing the top 3 areas that you need to focus when you start a training program. It can be a daunting task when you first start a training program. A lot of people, there's a barrier to entry. It's hard to know where to start. And then what areas to focus on when you start, what's important, what's not. So in this first episode, we're kind of just going to lay a groundwork for lifting and kind of what goes into that. And from there, in the next following episodes of the series, we're going to be trying to expound on those ideas and kind of just giving you some practical tips that you can implement into your daily life. So let's dive right in. Top 3 areas that you need to master when you start a training program. Number 1, you need to focus on form. Leave the ego at the gym door. You're not trying to go in there and immediately start lifting as much as everybody else in the gym. You don't need to be doing that. You need to be focusing on your form. Focusing on your form is going to improve your safety in the movement. It's going to maximize the efficiency of the movement, making sure that you're actually working the muscle groups that you need to work. And this is going to be, make sure that you do your research on each of the exercises, okay? There's going to be some general exercises in there that pretty much everybody understands, like a bicep curl, okay? But when you're talking about big compound movements, the big 4, that's also in the ebook. You can go read that. But the big 4 movements are squat, deadlift, bench press, and military press. Those 4 movements, there's a lot that goes into each of those movements, so make sure that you're doing your research on those. So that's number 1. Number 2, control the weight. You need to make sure that you're controlling the weight throughout the entire part of the movement. This kind of goes into form, but form is kind of like the way your body's positioned, how you're pushing the weight. This is going to look like making sure there's a consistent, steady arc throughout the entire movement. So when you're, let's think of a bench press. If you're going down, you shouldn't just be dropping the weight on your chest and then pushing it right back up as fast as you can. It's going to be a steady progression down. That's the eccentric part of the motion. That's actually where your muscles are stretching. And you really need to make sure that you're emphasizing that point. That's where actually most of the work is done. There's an argument going both ways, whether it's the eccentric or the concentric, that's the most important. But people have found that the eccentric, if you're controlling that, you're going to see much greater gains than if you're just not controlling the weight on the eccentric at all. And then you're just only controlling the weight in the explosion part, the concentric, the actual contraction of the muscle. So let's think about a bench press again. You're stretching, controlling that, and then pushing up, exploding through the movement. Again, not fast when you're first starting out, but it's just down, control, up, control, okay? That can apply to everything. That's a squat, that's a bicep curl, that's a pull-up. Make sure that's a nice, smooth motion all the way through. So first 2 ideas, focus on form, control the weight. Number 3, this is recovery. You need to focus on your recovery when you first started training a program. This can be overlooked in some areas. You can just go to the gym. That's your time in the gym. I'm done. No, recovery takes a lot more effort. It can even take more time than the actual effort that you put into the gym. Okay, but if you focus on these areas in recovery, you're actually going to see much greater gains. You're going to see much more return on the investment that you spend in the gym. All right. You need to eat, sleep, and stretch, all right? Eating, sleeping, and stretching are going to be key in your recovery, all right? This little personal example, I've been training for years, but last year I got my blood work done, and I got it done recently as well, and my testosterone was super low. I was like, what is going on? For a person my age who works out all the time, I thought it was in good health. Why is my testosterone so low? And come to find out, I wasn't eating. I had bought into that mindset that I need to stay lean all year round. If I don't eat too many carbs, then I'm going to be lean. But no, you need to make sure you're eating. You need to eat a well-balanced diet, lots of protein, lots of carbs, especially if you're training hard. If you're living an active lifestyle, you need to be making sure that you're eating consistently. Number 2, sleeping. This is going to be another key idea in your training program. You need to make sure you're sleeping enough. Okay, that's super important. Set a timer when you go to bed. Make sure it's consistent sleep. Make sure you're not like one night you go to bed at 9 o'clock, another night you go to bed at 12. That is not going to be how you're going to maximize your sleep. You need to make sure it's a consistent schedule and that you're getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. If you're getting less than that, you're not going to be recovering as much as you need to get the next workout done. You're going to be tired the next day, lethargic, and you're not going to be able to put on muscle. All right, the last one is stretching. That's going to be making sure that you're recovering while you're getting blood to the muscle throughout the day, after workout, before workout. This is going to be something that we focus on in later episodes. Each of these concepts we're going to kind of break down for you guys and like show you what a well-balanced eating schedule looks like, well-balanced sleeping schedule, what does stretching look like. So we're going to kind of break these down in later episodes, but just so you have in your minds, if you focus on these 3 areas, you're going to be getting the best return on investment. You're going to be maximizing the recovery, the benefits of the time you put into the gym, okay? So just break it down real quick again. Focus on form, control the weight, recovery, eating, sleeping, stretching, all right? Make sure you're focusing on, like, when you start this training program, any training program. But if you focus on these 3 ideas, you're going to be much better off. You're going to be far ahead. You're going to see gains that are consistent and progressive. You're going to see a lot less ruts. You're going to feel not much less soreness, lethargy after workouts the following day and such. So this series, this Ascension program series, is just our way of trying to give you guys daily health and wellness tips that you can implement on your day-to-day basis in your schedules as you're trying to pursue excellence in your lives. Again, we're offering the free Ascension program ebook. That's a workout program. It also has some breakdown of eating and sleeping and stretching as well in there, so you guys go check that out. Read up on that, and then you can kind of use that to follow along with this podcast as we're going through week to week. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I hope it's been helpful, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.